Hello everyone, welcome to our video podcast. I'm Anita and I have with me my co-host Ron Howard. Together we are MH Consultants and we have a very interesting podcast for you today because we have a guest on board and we're going to talk about something of interest to a lot of people, and that is networking. And before I go ahead, I would like Ron to introduce our guest.
Yes, hello, Bob. Welcome here. Thank you for coming. If I introduce you and everything you do, it's going to take a long time, isn't it? I have 3 of your cards here, so let me say what you do. You are the Managing Director of National Trading House, which sells stationery and other supplies. I think it's safe to say it's the biggest of that type in this country. You are the Vice Chairman, Commercial Market Committee of the Bahrain Chamber of Commerce. You are the Thaker Hindu Merchants Community President. And if I was to give everything you do, it would take as long as that. So we're not going to do that, Bob. Three items are enough. So I've known Bob for many, many years, and I feel very lucky to have him here today. So thank you, Bob. I would say one thing, even with all these cards and committees that he's on, we actually just call him one word, the legend.
Thank you. You've been very generous, Ron, and thank you for having me, Anita. What's for breakfast today?
First, let me just welcome you, Bob. Thank you for coming in today. It means a lot to us. Today for breakfast, we have some French breakfast on the table. It's from a cafe in Diplomatic called Cafe Sego. It's one of my favorite places to have breakfast or sometimes dinner as well. We have an almond croissant today. We have coffees on the table and we have an omelette and a few interesting mini sandwiches which are called petite.
Petite in French. Breakfast is petit déjeuner.
Yes, that's what
my
it's called.
school French is right, hopefully.
Yes.
It's not bad, Bob. It's not bad.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So before we go ahead, I'd like to know a little bit more about you because we are newly networked and we don't know each other so well. So I'd like to know a little bit more about you, Bob.
Well, thank you, Anita, and it's a pleasure to be with you guys. And Ron, of course, being a personal acquaintance is always a pleasure to chat. I was born in Bahrain. I had a bit of schooling in Bahrain, and then I went to India, graduated from there, did my schooling in university in business, and I came back. And as I call it, I have the South Asian eldest son syndrome.
Okay.
So I was finished my graduation, joined the family business, got married, and procreated. So I have 2 kids. My daughter is living in London and my son works in San Francisco. I own this business, which is a family business. And besides that, I'm also a part-time instructor in marketing and management. I've been teaching in BIBF and now I teach at the British University of Bahrain.
That's extraordinary. So many feathers on your cap there, Bob.
Thank you.
So yeah, today's topic is so interesting for me particularly because I have really struggled with this one.
Okay.
It doesn't come naturally to me. I'm
Okay.
someone who takes a lot of time to talk to people, perhaps because I'm introverted and a little shy. But because I'm in this business and since I'm an entrepreneur, I really have to put myself out there. So just let me know how did you get into this whole networking thing? Why do you think it's so important?
Well, I think your net worth is your network, not anything else, honestly speaking. And how I got into it was, I think I just made friends easily. I just made conversations easily. I read a lot. At least I used to read a lot. So that gives up many opportunities to talk to people and get ideas and discuss things. And one thing led to the other. I remember having a lot of friends, even in school. I still have my school friends on a WhatsApp group, and it's like it's always fun to chat up with them or meet up with them when I'm back in India. And then I have the business network. Then I have my other networks. So it's good to do that. It's important because I think it's all about collaboration nowadays. It's not about competition so much.
Right.
And that's one thing. And there was no conscious decision to just get into it. I think it just happens naturally. At least to me, it happens naturally.
Yes. So do you think it's like a personality thing that some people are naturally prone to network, whereas some people have to make that additional effort to do it?
Absolutely. And actually, I have tremendous respect for people who do not like to do it, or who are introverted to actually create a network, because for them it's a challenge. It's like you have to work towards it.
Yeah.
For some people it comes easy, but I guess wherever you are, whatever it is critical that one networks.
And I completely agree with you, because having been an entrepreneur for 7 years now, I've realized the values and the virtues of being a networked individual. I have a very decent network on LinkedIn, and also in Bahrain. So that's really helped me in my business as such. But yes, so I would like to know, without really giving away any secrets, would you like to share the process of networking that you undertake?
I think it comes really naturally to me. Of course, there are things you have to do. Database. You need to keep the contacts. You need to be good at names, which I'm not. But then you have to work towards it. You have to remember important occasions. But more importantly, I think it is also, if you feed off a person, if you're not necessarily well read, even if you're just well informed.
Yeah.
That helps to connect with people, because then there are different people have different interests.
That's right.
I was saying in my marketing class that marketing is all about endless source of useless information, and the useless is in inverted commas, because it's not useless. So there's some random thing happening somewhere else, and it might connect to our lives, or it might impact our business, or it might impact our social circles. So it's important to be aware of your environment and your surroundings. So that's a good way to sort of connect with people.
Right.
And if the more diverse your interests are, the more languages you know, the more well-read you are, the better it comes easier, and taking genuine interest, because I think it's a philosophy of whether you can learn from people, and I really, really believe that more people I know, there's always something to learn from somebody.
Absolutely.
And that sort of keeps me going on this.
Absolutely. I have one more question before Ron can start asking his set of questions.
Oh, the grill begins.
Well, this is like a love-in between you two, isn't it?
I know.
Both networkers.
I know. I think it's the good cop, bad cop.
You could talk all day on this.
Absolutely. And it's the good cop, bad cop strategy which you guys are using on me. But then I've watched enough Westerns to sort of go
counter
through
that.
counter that.
Yes. So, I believe in the power of LinkedIn networking, because I have found service providers, I have found people who could join my team through LinkedIn. Do you, as someone who's seen the whole evolution of networking that's happened over these years, do you think that LinkedIn as a platform is something that's really of value? What are your thoughts on this networking platform, this professional
I think you just
one?
gave my age away when you said that I've seen the evolution of network. Thank you very much for that. But in particular, LinkedIn, I think it's a great platform, especially for somebody who's in entrepreneurship and in business. It has its several plus points to it, and it also lends some weightage and credence to your business if you are well presented on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So I quite believe in that.
It in the profile introduces you before you need to introduce yourself.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
definitely is an advantage
Yeah.
of being on that platform. Ron, here.
I don't think I've updated mine for the last 15 years.
And you're doing perfectly well in life, haven't you?
I probably could have done better.
Better.
I don't know if I could have done better by networking more, but maybe.
Yeah.
So, Bob, we announced that you were coming on our podcast on Instagram,
Yeah.
and we got a lot of answers actually, or comments, and one of them was, I'm an accountant, not me, so an accountant who sits all day in the office doing accounting. So why do I need to do networking? I'm just an employee sitting there. I don't go to all these networking events. If I lose my job, I just look for a new one.
Well, I think even accountants have a life. Well, I say this as a compliment, because it's a grueling profession. It's
Yes.
So it's important. No, I think everybody should have a social profile. It's all about well-rounded personalities. It comes across as a well-rounded personality. It also shows another side of you which may develop into something. So accountants or engineers or whoever who think they don't need a social presence need to get on social network and manage it properly.
I understand you're a little bit behind though, Bob. You're not on TikTok yet, are you?
I am on TikTok.
Oh, you are?
I don't have any videos uploaded on it, but and I'm on Snapchat, and I believe I'm the curve killer there as far as age is concerned. I think they must have seen all those 14-year-old teeny boopers, and then see suddenly the graph going up with somebody on. I'm not going to say my age, but it's something in 40 plus,
Yes.
if I may say that.
Snapchat is very happy.
Snapchat is very happy, yes, to have us there, and I think so.
Right, back to Anita.
Yes. So now I want to ask about specifically these networking events that happen in the country. I remember going to one where it was like a speed networking event where there are like about 50 odd people. They sit opposite each other and they spend exactly like 2-3 minutes with each other, and then they move on to the next person. It goes around. It's like in so much sync, we just exchange cards and we say hello and this is me, and the other person introduces, and that's about it. After that, I didn't know how to get on with or somehow connect with the person later on without really feeling like I was overstepping something. Or maybe it's just me. If you were at such an event, how would you take it forward from there?
I wouldn't attend a speed networking
Okay.
event straight away. I wouldn't. I think the whole essence of networking is be genuine about it.
Right.
And the essence of networking is that we get to know each other. And if it takes a bit longer to do that rather than the speed network where you are a business card, I think it defeats the whole purpose. But I says they're very popular. I believe they're also speed dating sites. Having said that, I've never been to one. Just to clarify. But I believe there are better ways of doing it. And now with so much digitization, I think there are definitely better ways of doing it rather than doing this speed thingy with exchanging business cards. But having said that, I'm talking from an entrepreneur's perspective. If you're a sales rep and you want to collect cards for your business or for your leads, then probably it works. So hey, I'm not knocking it down. I just feel that for me that may not sort of work, but it may work for us. Maybe as Anita, as entrepreneurs, may not make too much sense. But maybe for certain segment it does. So it's all subjective.
Yeah, it certainly didn't work for me.
Yeah.
But I think there are certain places in Bahrain where, for example, the Capital Club, or you join a certain Rotary or a Lions or something like that, where people, they come together and they network for a common cause, maybe. That brings in a sort of a together spirit.
I'd just like to throw more light. Rotary is not a networking club. Rotary is a service organization.
Okay, sorry
He
about
knows that because he was the president.
I know, that's why I brought it in.
Thank you very much. And Rotary it's not even a charity organization where people think it's a charity. No, it's not. It's a service organization. We serve the community.
Okay.
So we don't just raise money and just give the money away.
Okay.
We actually raise money and we actually do something for the community. So, for example, we will actually go and do things. During one term, the Rotarians went and actually painted the cancer ward.
Okay.
In Salmania.
Okay.
I know Rotarians from San Francisco. I went to a club there. I was traveling to San Francisco and I attended a Rotary meeting, and the doctors there flew to Bangladesh and did operations there.
Okay.
So Rotarians are doers. Rotarians are action people, and they do things. So we are not a charity organization. We are a service organization. Service above self is our motto.
Okay.
So my intention to go to Rotary was not to network.
Okay.
It is a byproduct.
Okay.
I'm not denying it. I met a lot of wonderful people
Right.
and like-minded people because they all wanted to give back to the community, whichever.
Right.
So, but if anybody wants to join a Rotary for that, I think that's the wrong platform.
Okay.
If you're going to give back to the community, welcome. Get in touch with me. I'll be more than happy to introduce you to the new board. So yeah, that's my answer as far as Rotary is concerned. There are some other organizations. EO is one of them, entrepreneur organization.
Okay.
It's an interesting organization of only entrepreneurs. There were 12,000 globally,
Oh, okay.
and about 50 or 40 in Bahrain.
Okay.
So, but that's more for entrepreneurs, and then also network, but also a learning thing where you learn from your peers.
Okay.
So it's again, networking doesn't have to be the main product.
Yeah.
It can always be a byproduct, and
Yes.
something else can develop in your personality.
I think it's about getting into a group where there are like-minded people working towards a goal, and automatically and naturally, organically,
Yes.
this networking happens, which culminates into a good
Yes.
personal or a business relationship.
Yes.
So that definitely happens in
Absolutely.
these organizations, right?
Yes.
Excellent. Ron?
I was just thinking I'd go away for an hour while you two just continue talking about this.
This
Well-
is live, Ron.
Yes, I know that.
Watch
Anyway.
and learn, Ron. I think.
Anyway, I'm interested a bit more about the detail.
Okay.
So you go to a networking event. You go around and deliberately meet people and take cards or dresses
You go
or
around.
something, or-
You go around and you meet people because once again, I say it's a byproduct. You go around and say you meet interesting people.
Right.
I don't know whether he would be ever, and it's never about going there with the conscious effort to know somebody so I can get something from
Right,
him, or that is a wrong way to go about network. In fact, the currency I believe for networking is generosity and giving rather than taking. So this is what I believe.
So then you go home
Yeah,
and you've learned people's names and where they were.
yeah.
Maybe got some cards.
Yes.
What do you do then?
Why then you organize them and you have a system whereby you scan the cards, you put them into category, you try to add them on the list. Maybe you try to reach out to them and connect with them on say any of the social media platforms, and then you understand.
Yeah.
You remember birthdays, anniversaries. things
I
like
think
that?
technology helps you to remember birthdays and anniversaries, including my wife's. So the alarm should
You
go
should know
off.
your wife's birthday by now, Bob. That's not networking.
My calendar definitely knows it.
Right. And you said you're not very good at names. That surprises me.
Well, yes, it is a bit of a surprising. Maybe I should pay a bit more attention when they say it and do the drill about repeating the name 5 times, Dale Carnegie style, when he said How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yes.
Very, very good book to read, I think,
Yes,
for anybody.
yes.
I managed to get introduced to it very early in life. So, but I think I should do that. But as I said, technology helps, and I think people take. Or the easiest way is just take them to Starbucks to get their name.
So, a final question.
Ron didn't get that joke, by the
No,
way.
he didn't.
No, I know, it's not an accounting
Because
joke.
he
is
doesn't
it?
have a name on his Starbucks.
It's not an accounting joke.
So he doesn't get it.
So,
What I-
Anita, what should we do? What we should really do is go to a Starbucks and write our name as Costa. How would that sound?
Oh, good one.
See, the reason is to give us a bit of continuity from when we were doing the other podcast. We've changed the place, we've changed the mics, but the ever-present is the Starbucks English breakfast tea.
Which says EBT and not his name. Every Starbucks cup usually tells the name of the
Yeah,
person,
yeah.
the person who's paid for it. But yours says EBT.
What to do? It was a drive-through. They didn't ask me my name. So, what advice would you give to startups and SMEs when it comes to networking?
Well, meet as many people, not because you want to network, but because you can get to learn something from people. And if you can get to learn something from people, you would be automatically interested and they would know you. As I said, one should not really consciously go and join an organization or go for dinner. Oh, I want to meet 20 people today. It's not a sales target. It's no offense, or a balance sheet which has to be balanced. This should resonate with you. It's not making up the numbers. It's genuinely being interested in people. I think that is the essence of networking. If you generally are interested in people and what they do and how they are going about their life, it's great, and then you get to meet them, and then you get to network them and get to know them.
So it really starts with an interest in people.
It is. I think that is really the core philosophy.
That's the takeaway.
It
That's
is.
the takeaway,
That's
yeah.
Definitely for you. You should have a genuine interest in
Yes,
people.
I should have more interest in people. However, I got more interest in the breakfast. Did you enjoy the breakfast, Bob?
I think it was pretty good. Did enjoy it. The coffee was good as well. So thank you very much for that.
I had the chicken there. That was okay. Now,
I
I
have-
found the omelette a bit dry.
It was because
Yeah.
maybe because it's delivery and not.
Okay.
I mean, it's really nice. The place you should go.
We
It's
should.
really beautiful. The whole setup. I had a question. Now that there are absolutely no networking events happening, in this whole, still we are in this pandemic, right? I mean, it's not over yet. It's not gone away. How do people network? I know LinkedIn is one way of doing it, but is there any other way?
Just pick up the phone and talk to people. I don't think a phone call hurts. Hi, how you doing? How's the pandemic treating you? I think that's a basic thing. That would be great. Means we do it with our family. Why don't we do it even as a genuine interest? And I believe there are people. In fact, I believe we have more time during COVID.
Yes, we
So
did.
why not utilize that by actually genuinely asking about people? And maybe they're going through something and they would like to share, and maybe you can help, or maybe you can just share your experiences with them. And that leads to more bonding, and that leads to stronger networks.
And that's great attitude.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's definitely out of my comfort zone to simply just pick up the phone and call. Maybe a WhatsApp message, I guess, would help.
So
know.
I'm expecting your call next week, Anita.
We have to network again. We have to network again. Okay, that's cool.
I'm finished.
Oh, you're finished with your
Yes,
questions?
I'm finished.
But okay, so as our closing, as a closing sort of a thing, what do you have any other thoughts on networking?
Well, I think, as I said, if you're well informed and if you're well read, not necessarily not necessarily be a master in every subject, but if you are well informed of what's happening around us, and if you take genuine interest in people, I think this comes easily. Network does work easily, and it does help in your personal life. It does help in your business, definitely in your career, and I genuinely believe that more entrepreneurs, and I even encourage my students to go out of their comfort zone and meet people. I think that also enhances, it sort of enriches your personality, and as I said, you keep on learning something new from people. I think that's a great way to look at it.
And as an avid networker yourself, do you ever feel like there are any cons to networking?
There's cons to everything. It can be draining at times. It can be a burden at times when people there's a burden of expectation, or we can go and expect him to do or expect her to do something. That's the downside. Sometimes it backfires. Sometimes people misunderstand that, oh, you're just using them, which is really not that. If you're genuine, then they will realize it's not.
That is true.
So there are, of course, downsides to it, but I think the advantages
Far
outweigh the
Certainly.
downsides to it, and I think that's the way to go about it.
That's such a fantastic, closure to this particular podcast, I feel. Thank you so much for your inputs, because this really would help a lot of people. I for one, struggled with it. Ron.
It's always entertaining, Bob. isn't it?
Yes.
Thank you. Well, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the breakfast, and it's great to be here. I think it's great to share these ideas. And good luck with your other podcasts.
Thank you so much.
I quite
Thank
enjoy
you.
them, actually. So I
Thank
look forward to more episodes from you guys.
Yes, and hope you have subscribed to our YouTube channel. That's
Yes,
very important.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
We don't want you to miss a single one.
And
No, I
get
won't.
your network to
Yes,
subscribe as well.
absolutely.
Thank you. We'll do
Yes.
that. We'll do that. Thank you.
That would be
Very
great
much.
help to us.
Thank you. Great, guys. Thank you.
So that's the end of our podcast, and as usual, I'd like you all to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's MH Consultants, and also do follow us on Instagram at MHConsultants_PH. And if you have any queries or comments while you watch our podcast, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. You will find me as Anita Menon, or you can just leave a comment on our Instagram or on our YouTube as well. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.